Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to the Upadesamrita series, and today we are discussing the 8th verse, which talks about the Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, which is the essence of all instructions. So before we get into the topic, dive into the topic, let's understand that there are two types of bhakti, uh, two types of sadhana bhakti to be more particular. Sadhana bhakti is something that one performs to attain bhav for Krishna. And what is bhav? Ruchivi chitta masanya krudasau bhava uchyate. When the desire to serve Krishna and have association of Krishna, so this kind of desires, they completely melt the heart, or rather start melting the heart. That is called as bhav. And to get that bhav, the practice that is performed is called as sadhana bhakti. So kruti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhavasa sadhana pita. So this sadhana bhakti is of two types, Vaidhi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. Both are sadhana bhaktis only, Vaidhi sadhana or Raganuga sadhana. So Vaidhi sadhana, what is Vaidhi sadhana? Yatra shastra anavaptatvat. Yatra raga anavaptatvat. Shasanena eva shastrasya. So that means as long as one hasn't developed a greed to follow a particular Vrajavasi, Nitya Vrajavasi in a particular mood, till that time, that bhakti which is governed solely by instructions of Shastra, that is called as Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. What is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti? When by special mercy of Guru and Krishna, one receives a particular type of greed to follow a particular Vrajavasi like Rup Manjari or Rati Manjari or Lalita Devi, Vishakha Devi or Yashoda Maiya, Nanda Baba or Raktak Patrak or Subal Sridama, whichever one particular mood one wants to follow in the footsteps of those Vrajavasis, that greed makes him qualified for Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. So he has both Shastra Vishwasmaya Shraddha. His life is also governed by Shastras, but the motivation is not Shastra, but motivation is his greed that drives him, pushes him, or pulls him to Krishna to perform this sadhana. So this is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. And Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharan. The aim of this Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is to bring one to a Raganuga practice of devotional service. And therefore, Rupa Goswami calls it Upadesha Saram. So let's understand this verse. Literal direct meaning. Tan Nama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanam. Tan Nama means Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Charita, etc. Sukirtanam. Doing it very nicely. Anusmrityo. And remembering them. Kirtana and remembrance. Smrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyujya. Engage the tongue, engage the mind. And then Tishtan Vraje. Stay in Vrindavan. Tad Anuragi Jananugami. Follow in the footsteps of Vrajavasis. These are Nitya Vrajavasis that are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. And supporting literature to Srimad Bhagavatam. Tishtan Vraje Tad Anuragi Jananugami. Kalam Nayad Akhilam Iti Upadeshasaram. And like that, spend your time till perfection. That is essence of all instructions. So, before we go into the different Acharya's commentaries, let's understand what Rupa Goswami himself has to say about how to practice Raganuga Bhakti in Vraja. So, first thing in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu he mentions is Krishnam Smaran Janam Chastya Preshtam Nija Samihitam Tattat Katharata Shaso Kuryad Vasam Vraje Sada. So, he is saying Krishnam Smaran, remembering is the main focus of Raganuga Bhakti. Krishnam Smaran Janam Chasya. And one's role model in Vrindavan. One should remember Krishna's dealing with that role model. It may be in Madhura Bhav, it is Lalita, Vishakha Sakhi, or Rup Manjari, Ratni Manjari, etc. And then engrossed in their pastimes, Tattat Katha Ratashasau, Kuryad Vasam Vraje Sada. One should always stay in Vraja. If physically it's not possible, then at least mentally one should stay in Vraja. Then he says, Seva sadhaka rupena, siddha rupena chatrahi, tad bhava lipsuna karya, vrajalokanu. So by two ways, one should perform this Raganuga Bhakti. Internally, by Let's discuss first externally. Externally by the sadhak deha, the way it is, through that deha doing Shravanam Kirtanam, and through internal body, or let's call it Siddha Rupena, or the form which is suitable for one's service to Radha Krishna. With that, one should remember the pastimes and one should try to see one's service in those pastimes. So this is called as Siddha Rupena Chatrahi. Tad Bhava Lipsuna Karya Rajalokanu. So if in Smaran he is following Rupa Manjari, then in Sadhak Deha he should follow Rupa Goswami. So this is how one follows one's role model. So now let's get into the different commentaries. So this is Sri Radha Ramana Goswami. First point that he is making is where should one stay for such practice of chanting holy name, etc. with other previous verse talked about with respect we should chant holy name. Where should one stay for this practice? And upon whom should the mind be fixed? This is answered as the essence of all advice. Where should one stay? In Vrindavan. Whom should one follow? Tadunaragi Jananugami. So in Vraja only one should stay and one should absorb mind in Vrajendra Nandan Krishna's name, form, pastimes only, and follow Vrajavasi Bhaktas only, who are Vraja Leela Antapati, who come into the fold of Vraja Leelas, and be Vraja Anuragi Jana Anugami, and follow those who have Anurag for those who follow the Vrajavasis. Be Vraja Anuragi Jana Anugami. So become the one who follows Vrajavasis. Vraja Anuragi Jana Anugami. Not Pura Anuragi Jana Anugami. So his role models cannot be from Pura, Dwarka or Mathura or any other place. His role models have to be from Vraja if he wants to attend Vrajendra Nandan. That is the Siddhanta. भजिलेह ना पाए ब्रजेंद्र नंदन गोपी अनुगति विना ऐश्वर्य ज्ञाने और ब्रजवासी अनुगति विना ऐश्वर्य ज्ञाने भजिलेह ना पाए ब्रजेंद्र नंदन. So that is mentioned. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he mentions that how does one exactly achieve this? Kramik marg or sequence. Shravanam Krishna's Naam, Roop, Gun, Leela from Guru. This is the first step. Then comes Kirtan of that. Nicely doing Sukirtananu. Then comes Anusmriti, Smaran. And then one very quickly achieves Jata Ruchi. Very interestingly, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also mentions this, that one who has developed greed for Krishna, greed for particular bhav, Vraj bhav for Krishna, such person very quickly goes through the stages of Anartha Nivritti. If at Anartha Nivritti stage he has gotten that greed, he very quickly goes through Anartha Nivritti stage and completes that stage and quickly comes to Nishtha and Ruchi. That is what Chakravarti Bhat says. And if he gets this greed in Nishtha Ruchi, he continues from there. So he becomes Jata Ruchi, then he does Vrajvas and Manasa Bhajan following Vrajajana. Second, he is mentioning how this thing happens, exactly this Marana thing. And after remembering how he attains the Siddhi or perfection, that is mentioned. So first Shravanam, hearing names and pastimes, etc. Then Varana Dasha, chanting the heard subject in one's aspired mood. Then Smarana Dasha, which has 5 stages, which means Smarana means somehow bringing Krishna's name or form in mind. Then comes Dharana, means for a longer time, little longer, uh, like bring the mind from other topics and put it on Krishna. Then comes Dhyana, which is like Rupa, Visheshato Rupadi Chintanam, especially focusing one mind on Rupa or Guna or Leela. So these 3 in the sadhaka stage they happen. Then Anusmriti, Dhruva Anusmriti happens in Bhava or Prem stage, where one has nothing else, no other, very seamless remembrance. And Samadhi means he doesn't remember anything else but the pastime only or the names only. So these are Bhava and Prem stages. After that, one gets Swakiya Dasha, means Swarupa Upalabdhi. That means one obtains one's own spiritual body and goes to the spiritual world. That is how Srila Saraswati Thakur says. Let's see what Srila Prabhupada says. Says the mind may be one's enemy or one's friend. One has to train the mind to become his friend. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for training the mind to be always engaged in Krishna's business. So mind has to be trained, and that's why it is mentioned rasana manasi niyojya. Then second point, the mind contains hundreds and thousands of impressions, not only of this life but also of many lives of the past. These impressions sometimes come in contact with one another and produce contradictory pictures. In this way, the mind's functions can become dangerous for a conditioned soul. So therefore, by coming to bhakti, first thing that we do is engage our tongue in Krishna's service. Once tongue is engaged in Krishna's service with association with mind, mind comes under control. And when mind is dedicated to Krishna's name, form, pastimes, one steadily progresses in devotional service. So, this is the instruction, which is the essence of all instructions. Uh, of course, it is to be understood that this instruction for those who have developed greed for Krishna. What is greed? How is it developed? All these details we will discuss when we will discuss Ragvartma Chandrika by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. It suffices to say that the goal, ultimate goal of Gaudiya Vaishnavas is to get the greed first and then uh, stay in Vraja, at least in mind, if not physically possible, and follow in the footsteps of one's role model, and then attain that particular bhav for Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hope this is useful for you, and have a nice day in Krishna consciousness. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Krishna willing, we will meet again for the next instructions, the Upadesamrita 9, 10th, and 11th. They talk about the glories of Shri Shri Radha Kund. So we will discuss that. Hare Krishna.